What is up? It's Thaddeus Johnson here from Super Popcorn Movie Review, back with another review. I've been wanting to do this for a while. This movie is one of my favorite movies. It's called Red Belt. Written and directed by one of my favorite writers, David Mamet. Uh, this movie is it's a martial arts movie with not a whole lot of martial arts, but that's okay though, because the story, the directing, and the writing, and the acting is so good in this film that you'll forget about that it's a martial arts movie. So the only fight scenes that they have, which are two, is like the icing on the cake, and they're done really well too. Let me start with the director. Um, Man, this guy has directed. If you guys remember a show called The Unit, he did 4 episodes of The Unit, which was badass. He also directed Spartan um, with Val Kilmer, and he wrote The Postman Always Rings Twice, Hoffa, The Edge, Ronin, Hannibal with Anthony Hopkins. He wrote Hannibal too. Um, but his directing, you can tell he's a fan of mixed martial arts. You can tell he's a fan of Brazilian Jiu Jitsu specifically, because his attention to detail was very good. Um, but his ability to mix good, amazing acting and get the best performances out of his actors, along with martial arts, was done really well. Um, like I said, he's one of my favorite writers, and behind the camera, every time he's jumped behind the camera, he's never really let me down or disappointed me or just done something totally bad. His movies don't get a lot of praise, or they're usually like directly to DVD, or something like that. But they're always good movies. Like you can watch it and not be too disappointed by it. Um, the story though is written so well. It's about this guy owns a Brazilian jiu-jitsu studio. I think on the south side of Chicago is where they're at, and he ends up landing a job as a producer, executive producer, after helping a actor played by Tim Allen, who was equivalent to like Bruce Willis, I guess, in the film as an action star. It was kind of weird seeing Tim Allen take a more serious role, but it was good though. It was really good. His acting was great too. I'll get into that later. But he helps this guy in a bar ends up getting this job as an executive producer, and comes to find out that people that he thought was good, honest people were not so much that. And in fact, some of his own family members, brother-in-laws and his wife, kind of set him up and turned their back on him too because of money. Um, so he's the only one who the character played by Chiwetel Ejiofor lives by this code of like the warrior, the samurai, and he feels like he's the only one trying to do the right thing all the time. He doesn't feel that way, but he thought everybody was, at least honest, and he comes to find out everybody's not too honest, and he's trying to live by this code and keep doing the right thing, and he gets shitted on through the whole movie. Actually, gets shitted on, and but like I said, the writing was so good, and to see Tim Allen play this character of a more serious role was good to see, and he did it quite well as well. Um, but David Mamet's approach to the film was great. Let me talk about this cast for a second. Like I said, Chiwetel Ejiofor is the lead in the movie. You have Tim Allen and Emily Montemere, who was great. She was really good. Um, Alice Braga from Predators, and she just did New Mutants, I think. Um, Also, Jose Pablo Castillo, who's been doing a lot of Neil Blomkamp stuff later on after this movie. He did a couple of Neil Blomkamp movies. Um, Max Martini, Tim Allen, Ricky Jay was in the film. I think this is one of his last films before he passed away. And also Jack John Jack Johnson showed up. He for like 10 minutes, maybe 5, 7 total, and that was funny because if you know who Jack Johnson is, he plays in New Girls, and he did Let's Be Cops, which was really funny. He's usually known for doing a lot of comedy stuff, but he's great. And for the 7 minutes he showed up too, played the more serious asshole role who gets his ass handed to him by by uh, by Chiwetel Ejiofor's character. Um, but let me talk about the acting for a second, man. Chiwetel Ejiofor. After I saw this movie, because it came out in 2008, after I saw this movie, I thought this guy could probably be in just about anything. His acting is that good. I know he had Z for Zachariah. He's been in a lot of stuff. He's played alongside Denzel Washington in a film too. He was in Four Brothers. But his acting is superb. I wish he'd get more action roles. I loved him in Doctor Strange, and I heard through the grapevine that he's going to be in Shang-Chi, that character in the next Marvel movie. It's more like it's going to be an action martial arts Marvel movie. So I'm excited to see if that character shows up from Doctor Strange. That'd be really cool if they did that. But yeah, his acting in here is superb, man. He can play any role, any character, and he's going to shine. He's that good. I think him and Idris Elba could do just about anything. I don't know why they haven't got one of those guys to play James Bond yet. I mean, they're both British actors, so I would like to see one of them play James Bond. That'd be cool. Emily Montemere's acting in here was phenomenal. I've never really seen her do anything that atrocious or bad. She's a great actress, a great actor, and her character is being this scared, paranoid, lawyer who was self-medicating after being raped, and instead of seeking therapy or talking to somebody about it, she was self-medicating with pain meds. And so Chiwetel Ejiofor's character, Mike Terry, offers to help her using Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as a way to defend herself, but also deal with her problems and her stress and her anxiety. And I thought that was great because martial arts can be used in that way as far as de-stressing. One of my brothers does that a lot. He uses mixed martial arts as a way to distress and help with some of his problems. Alice Braga's character, she played Mike Terry's wife, Sonia Terry, and her character. She wants her husband to do good and for good things to happen to him, but she is willing to stab him in the back so she can be successful. She's not very ride or die, which is fucked up. But you think she's my wife. She's supposed to be loyal to me, but she's like all about the money too. She wants him to be successful, but at the same time, she'll do whatever she has to do in order to get money. And if you watch the film, you'll see what she does to him. I had a ton of mixed martial arts fighters in here. One of them actually played Alice Braga's brother, and he's a real mixed martial artist, and he's also who Mike Terry fights in the end of the movie, the main character, Chiwetel Ejiofor, and that was a really good fight scene that David Mamet put together at the end. And the movie is called Red Belt because, well, hell, if you receive your red belt, that's like the highest you can go, I think, in the martial arts world. I don't want to be, I don't know for sure, but I think that may be higher than a black belt, receiving your red belt. Who else? Jose Pablo Cantillo. Hope I'm not butchering his name. He's in the movie as well. The guy who's later on, he's done a couple of Neil Blomkamp movies, but he plays his partner Snowflake, his buddy, who is always ride or die and ready to help Terry out with whatever he can. Like I said, Tim Allen's in the movie. He was great. played a different character, more serious role, and I like that a lot coming from Tim. I wish he'd do more serious roles, but whatever he's in, I've always kind of liked too. But it was different seeing him in this, take this more serious character, and he did a good job. He really did. But like I said, if you can check this movie out, it's one of my favorite movies. I enjoy, every time I watch it, I enjoy watching it a lot. It never comes on TV, so you might have to buy it. But if you're watching this, please, if you have a time to go to Walmart or some local place that's selling used DVDs, check out REDBELT. Buy it. It's worth it, man. If I had to give this movie any popcorns, probably a 9 out of 10. And that's pretty high. So yeah, that's it, man. Thanks for watching my review of REDBELT. Like, subscribe, please, if you want, and click that notification.